Okay, I am getting ready to make a cheesecake. I got everything measured out and ready to go. I'm going to do this in stages because I have to hold the camera and mix same time. So I'm going to do it in stages. But real quick, before I started, I wanted to talk about RV ovens. Our oven is very small. It only has one rack in it. Some RVs have bigger ovens, but if you have a small one like this one, it tends to cook things really, really well on the bottom. So with something you're going to be careful with, it's delicate like a cake or a cheesecake or, something like chicken, I'm fine. I like my chicken seared real nice. So the hot bottom oven works fine. But for something like this that needs to cook slow and gentle, it really needs some sort of buffer. So what I use is a pizza stone. I have a pizza stone that is on top of the rack in the oven, which helps buffer the heat a little bit. The other thing with the RV oven is the heat that it says it is, the temperature it says it is on the knob, is never accurate. I don't know why. Like almost any kind of protein I cook, whether it's chicken, some kind of beef, pork, I almost always have it on full heat because it just takes forever if I don't. I'm not going to do that obviously with the cheesecake because I want it to cook a little bit slower. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Our maximum temperature on here is 490. For this cheesecake, I'm going to put it on 375. There's the oven. You can see I got my pizza stone in there on top of the rack. Gives a little bit of a buffer. Now it's hard to see, but there's just the one rack in the oven. Excuse my oven, it's a little dirty. And then I have it set on 350. So I'm gonna let that heat up. I already mixed together the 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter with a cup of graham cracker crumbs, thank you. Mixed them together, melted the butter, mixed them together, put them in the pan. I'm going to put them in the oven for a few minutes just to let them kind of toast up a little bit to make them more set. So when we go to put the cheesecake on top, they don't kind of fall apart and make a mess, make a big mess when you go to cut the cheesecake. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. While that's cooking for a few minutes, we're going to get to work on our cheesecake. Okay, we're back to working on our cheesecake. The crust was in for about 10 minutes. It's out, it's cooling. Right now I'm just mixing up the 4 blocks of cream cheese. So it's 32 ounces of cream cheese. And then I'm gonna add the sugar in just a second. Okay. Gets 1 1/4 cups of sugar. I love these measuring cups. They're great for the RV because they collapse. I don't remember where I got them, but I'm sure they probably have them on Amazon. Okay. So now I'm going to mix the sugar in here real well. I usually use a stand mixer. I've always used a stand mixer for cheesecakes, but I do not actually have a stand mixer in my camper, but it is buried in the basement, which, if for those of you that don't know, the basement is like your underbody storage, and it's kind of buried under there, so it's not easily accessible right now. So you can also do this in a food processor. You just do the same steps, just pulse a few times between each addition. That does help to keep the bubbles down, so you don't get a lot of air in your cheesecake, which means you don't end up getting a lot of cracks. All right, so once we have this mixed up with the sugar, I add the eggs, and I'm gonna just add the eggs like one at a time, which for those who don't know how to do that, I have them all in here. It's actually eggs and egg yolks. It's 4 eggs and 3 egg yolks. And I'm gonna try to add one at a time. There we go. So after each addition, you're gonna wanna mix really well. And I try to keep it pretty low, again, keep the air bubbles out of your cheesecake. Air bubbles are what causes cracking a lot of times. It's one of the causes of cracking on a cheesecake. All right, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate the rest of these eggs, and then I'll be right back with you guys. All right, I have all the eggs incorporated. One thing I did neglect to mention, between each addition of eggs, once you get a few in, you can do a little more than one at a time. I think the last two, I did two at a time, the last two batches. But also, scrape the sides down with a rubber spatula every time after you incorporate the eggs, and make sure you're getting everything off the bottom and getting it well mixed. That just keeps you from getting lumps in your cheesecake. So, all right, so everything's in except for our last two ingredients, which is 1/3 cup of heavy cream and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm gonna throw these in. And this is for those who are interested in New York style cheesecake. I'm gonna mix this in really well. So New York style cheesecake's a little bit more dense. It's not as light as other styles of cheesecake, but I love a New York style cheesecake. Real dense and cheesy, my favorite. So, all right, this looks really good. Give it a little speed bump here, just to bump up into speed, just to make sure everything's mixed really well. All right, I am going to go ahead and add this to the pan, and then I'll get one more video of it real quick before it goes in the oven. All right, cheesecake's in the pan, all ready to go in the oven. I'm gonna just kind of shake it a little bit to smooth it out, let a little bit of the bubbles out. And it's going in the oven at 350. Usually I bake cheesecakes around 300 if I don't do a water bath. I'm not doing a water bath, simply because of the size of our oven. Makes it a little bit challenging to do a water bath. But also I've done a lot of cheesecakes without a water bath, and they have worked out pretty good. So I'm not too concerned about that. So I'm gonna show you how beautiful it looks. I actually just remembered I did not do the last cheesecake in the camper. So this is my first one baking in the camper, I believe. I think I did last year's cheesecake for my daughter's birthday at my work. So we'll see. So it's an experiment for both of us. Once it's out, I will let you see how it looks. All right, the cheesecake has been in for about an hour and a half. I did have to bump up the temperature from 350 to 400. So, you know, depending on your oven, you're going to have to make adjustments. But I did change the temperature partway through. And it is, it's still a little jiggly, but that's what you want to see in a cheesecake. You want it to be a little jiggly before you take it out. But I'm not going to take it out of the oven. I'm going to turn the oven off and leave it in and let it sit in there for a while to kind of cool off a little bit. One of the best things with cheesecake is to like kind of just let it, you know, taking it from hot to cold can affect the cheesecake, and it can make it crack. So if you just leave it in the oven, I might crack the door a little bit, let some of the heat out. But if I'm leave it in there and just kind of let it, you know, cool slowly instead of very quickly, I think that'll avoid it cracking. So I'm going to leave it in there for a little bit, and I will keep you posted. All right, cheesecake was in the oven. Left it in the oven, turned the heat off, and I cracked the door a little bit and let it sit in there for about an hour. And as you can see, it's looking good. Hopefully it's not going to crack. It's feeling pretty cool, so it should be cooled down in another hour or so, and then I'll refrigerate it overnight, and I'll let you know how it turns out.
Sorry, Gabby, I'll find out.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You saw the making of the cheesecake yesterday. It has been in the fridge now for actually for 24 hours because I didn't need it earlier. And I just took it out of the pan, and as you can see, it looks amazing. It is done, and my daughter, who I made it for, is trying to stick her finger in it. So you can see it turned out really good. I managed to get the camper oven to be cooperative for this particular, you know, dessert. So I'm going to do some more desserts, and I will some more cooking, and I will share those with you. Guys, all have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep watching so you know what we're doing, where we're going, where we've been, and what's cooking. Thanks. Bye. Okay, as I was putting together the video that I made with making of the cheesecake, it occurred to me that I should probably have a video of the sliced cheesecake so you could see, you know, how it looks inside. It's very good. It is absolutely delicious. I love just a plain cheesecake. It's very dense, which is what sets apart the New York style. But it's really nice. And I love when you don't do the water bath, you tend to get this little ridge, which I like because it's perfect if you want to put a topping. I've done some like sauteed apples with like a caramel sauce on top. I've done strawberries, blueberries. You could do anything on top of your cheesecake. You could do fresh fruit and then put like a nice glaze over it. You can literally put anything on there. And it's just delicious no matter what you do to it. I like it plain, so that's how we're having it. We had this the other night for my daughter's birthday, and today I was putting together the video, and I was like, you know, I think we need a video of the slice of cheesecake, and I'm gonna take a bite and let you know what I think. I'm not flipping the camera for this, but it's really good. Very good cheesecake, if I do say so myself. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.